Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Purple Lunarose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, I'm going to be reading a Celtic cross reading for Divine Feminine. We are going to be looking at the heart of the matter. I did a reading just like this a couple of nights ago for Divine Masculine. So if you guys missed that, you can go over and find it on my YouTube channel under the live tab. So don't forget, we are multi-streaming on 3 different platforms. So Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Everything looks like it's working okay. We did have a little hitch in our giddy up with StreamYard the other day, so we weren't able to do that live. I had to postpone it till tonight, but everything in divine timing, right? So I imagine there's a reason, there's a purpose, so we're going to find out. Heart of the matter for Divine Masculine was definitely mental health. Heart of the matter for Divine Feminine, I'm really not too sure yet. I feel it's going to have something to do with the Sagittarius full moon. That full moon comes in on the 25th, I believe. It could be the 23rd. I might be wrong about that. But Sagittarius full moon, I feel like I'm already feeling that energy. It's a fire sign. Ooh, sharp bringing. Nice. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So, it's a fire sign, and Sagittarius full moon, I feel like, is bringing us all to like this peak pentacle moment. I do feel like it's all kind of started with the Aries solar eclipse we experienced on April 8th, and then it's just kind of been building up. We did move into Taurus season, so it's kind of given us like the little bit of grounding that we can get since we had all of that energy in Aries. Mercury retrograde also, right? Finally over. But yes, I feel like the Sagittarius full moon is the energy that I'm picking up on for Divine Feminine. I see everyone coming in. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Michelle. All right, so I have pulled out, Sandra gifted me this oracle set we're going to use tonight. It's the Sacred Destiny Oracle. And I am going to clarify with regular Rider-Waite. No storms tonight, so internet should hold out just fine. All right, 2 cards flip out for Divine Feminine, Fulfillment and Solitude. How interesting. So the solitude is definitely throwing me off because I feel like we went through this period of solitude when we had that Venus retrograde started last June. I talk about it all the time. I feel like that's when I had my Kundalini activation. So I feel like we went through that solitude where we were kind of on our own, and now we're all kind of going out into the world, right? I know for me and my journey, that's definitely how it's been. We are going out and finding fulfillment. Again, the solitude throwing me off a little bit, but I do feel like as we're experiencing the journey, as we're implementing our spiritual lessons, there are times, like me and Michelle talked about it, I want to say, when I did that Divine Masculine Celtic cross, there are times where Spirit asks us to withdraw or pull our energy back and really spend some time with ourselves, especially when we feel like our implementation isn't working or isn't helping in the experiences that we're having, right? All right, so that's going to be heart of the matter. Again, the solitude is throwing me off. Is Spirit asking us to spend time on our own? Is Spirit reminding us of the time that we did spend on our own and what that was like? Is Spirit guiding us for when we are on this journey, like I said, and we feel like our implementation, or like we feel like we're just being tested one too many times, right? So that's heart of the matter for Divine Feminine. Let's see what's crossing. The Love card comes out. How interesting. This is going to be one of those readings. So the Love card is here. It shows these beautiful flowers. It actually has carnations on this picture, and carnations were my mom's favorite flower. Flowers, I guess, pretty significant in my journey this week for sure. But the Love card, like, that's what's crossing us. So it's going to have something to do with a love situation. All right, let's look and see what is our highest expectation. Hi, Erica. Highest expectation in this love situation. Security. That's definitely giving me like Four of Wands energy. It's definitely giving me like 1111, firm foundation, financial security type of feeling. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of easy, but kind of hard. It's definitely about a love situation. It's definitely about finding fulfillment and happiness in a love situation. And I feel like the highest expectation is what Divine Feminine is needing. And I think you're needing a sense of security. And I mean, for some of you, like if you're single and you're out there and you're doing your thing, then yeah, that could be financial security, surely. Especially with the solitude card out there. Like maybe many of us are just not focused on relationship at this time, and we're just focused on our finances. I know that was me for quite some time. But I know that the love situation is definitely, back, right? So it's like now trying to balance the two. But there's something about, I don't think it's financial security. I think it's about commitment. I think it's more like commitment. I feel like we just almost like just want to make, I don't know. For me, I don't want to say like I just want to make the commitment, but it's like I just want to have a plan. Like I want to make a plan. Like, what are we doing, right? Jenna. Pleasure, growth, and realization. I love that. Definitely resonates. Not feeling secure or financially or in my relationship. Same. I wouldn't say I'm not feeling secure. Again, it's like I just don't know what the plan is, right? Like what is the plan? And like I started this job, right? I keep talking about the job on the lake. And I started it with this one plan. Well, I mean, I've only been 6 weeks in and the plan has already changed. I'm not upset about it in any way. I'm definitely super happy. I'm even closer to the water, like to where I want to be. But it's definitely like that. I didn't see that coming, right? Like I thought we made a plan. I thought we were doing this thing. And it's like, I don't know. It's like now I'm not so sure. So it's like I want a for sure plan. Erica says, need to plan now. Yes. All right, let's look at energy that's coming into being that we don't know yet. Divine Feminine, we don't know yet. Inner peace, thank goodness. I think it's because we're fighting for it, right? How many of you feel like you're fighting for your inner peace? We're not allowing our self-worth, I think, has grown, or like we've acknowledged our self-worth to a point where we're not willing to lose our inner peace, right? I feel like this last week has tested me to a point where I felt like there were times where I didn't do as well as I know I should have, and I reverted back to like old Rosa a couple of times. And I feel like I remember making the statement that I worked too hard for my emotional stability to allow something to damage that in any way. That's energy that's coming into being that we don't know yet. Sandra says, yes, fighting for inner peace. Jenna says, 100%. All right, I'm going to look at the energy that's past. I'm going to stop there. We're going to clarify with some regular Rider-Waite tarot, and then we'll do the second half. I love that so many of you showed up. Ooh, 2 came out. I love that so many of you showed up for the Divine Feminine. I was wondering how that was going to work. I feel like we're always super nosy when it comes to when we talk about divine masculine. And so that's always like the more popular one, right? So I'm so proud of us. Look at us all. Hi, Sherry. All right, so in the past, okay, so this kind of helps with the solitude card that I've seen earlier in the heart of the matter, because in the past, and remember, this is the past energy, so this is completely finished, completely done. We have the stillness card and we have the voyage card. So in the stillness card, very beautiful card, a lot of purple, this white, beautiful swan, and it's like about being still and waiting for spirit to guide you and show you like what your next steps are. Well, Voyager shows that big whale that's carrying the smaller whale in that net, right? So it's like you had to be still in the past. You couldn't really make any big moves on your own because spirit was carrying you as you went through your journey. To me, that's giving me like dark night of the soul type of energy. So I feel like spirit's confirming that our dark night of the soul is completely gone. There was a couple of you, I shouldn't say completely gone. That stage is finished. Okay, so there was a couple of you that messaged me and just in the last couple of weeks, and you asked me, can you have more than one dark night of the soul? Yes, you can. And I do not recommend it at all, ever. I don't know. I feel like anyone who's had a spiritual awakening has had a dark night of the soul, because that's the purification, that's the purging, and that's like the very first part of your spiritual awakening. It's like when you get rid of all the right? All the things that like aren't serving your greater good, right? But in order to get rid of something, it's like you have to bring it to the surface. The easiest way I could explain this is like, before my spiritual awakening, I was what you would call a functioning alcoholic. Like I could drink all night long till 2 o'clock in the morning and then be up at 6 and go to work. And I swore people didn't know, but they probably did, right? And I would do this until, it's a cycle. I would just do it till I got off work, and then I would drink again, and then I would stay up all night again, and then I would sleep for 4 hours again, and then, you see what I'm saying? And I would do this, and I would just completely ignore any emotions, feelings, anything, right? I was just like a robot that just kept doing this thing over and over. Well, when Dark Night of the Soul came, it was like everything stopped. And I had to feel things for the first time. All that stuff that I've been drinking and trying to like shove down so I couldn't, didn't have to experience or feel, none of that stuff. It was like that came to the surface, and that's dark night of the soul. So it's like anything you've been shoving, cramming, hiding, running from comes to the surface, and you can't run from it anymore. You have no choice but face it, right? So I'm getting for Divine Feminine that yes, you can repeat dark night of the soul, but here's what happened to me. And I feel like I've definitely had more than one. So I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm perfect and only had the one. No, but here's what I know. When I had my second dark night of the soul, I definitely, and I know this is going to sound a certain type of way, and some people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, but it is what it is, right? So I feel like spirit was like, Rosa, you already did this. You've already learned this lesson. How many times do you need to learn the same lesson, right? And so it was like, when the second dark night of the soul was a lot easier. I knew the steps, right? Like I knew what to do to get out. And so I feel like what Spirit's saying here for Divine Feminine, your past energy, something that's completely past, is we're not falling into that depression anymore. We're not falling into that dark hole anymore. We don't need to go to the darkness anymore to learn anything else. We've learned what we needed to learn in that darkness, and we are now in the light, and that's where we stay. And is it hard here? Yes, absolutely. I think people have it like half-assed backwards. People think that it's hard to be in the darkness, or like depression, anxiety, PTSD, all those words, all those labels, right? Let me tell you what's really hard. What's really hard is knowing that you deal with those situations and fighting it every day and not allowing it to affect your emotions or your physical well-being. That's really hard. It was a lot easier for me to stay in the bottle in my dark room and go, oh, my life's hard. I mean, that was a lot easier. Getting up and having to like face problems and face issues and face people and be accountable, like that's freaking way harder. So just throwing that out there. All right, I'm going to stop there now that I'm done with my rant, and I'm going to clarify with the regular Rider-Waite. So Rider-Waite is those old tried and true tarot cards that everyone knows. Sandra says, also fighting to be recognized for my worth, tired of being looked over. Oh my gosh, Sandra, same. Same. Five of Wands comes out. Challenges. I'm taking two since we got two. And Nine of Wands comes out. Okay, so ready, Divine Feminines? We're about to get spankings. Okay, so the Five of Wands is challenges. It's not Five of Swords, thank goodness, but it is Five of Wands, and it says that you are experiencing challenges. And Nine of Wands, ready? Nobody's going to like it, but it's true. I already know. Nine of Wands is our stubbornness. Nine of Wands is when you have been doing something for a very long time. It's the card that shows him standing there in front of these. He's got one wand in his hand and there's 8 wands lined up behind him. A lot of times this card talks about protection too. It's like, I'm trying to protect what's mine, so I build this wall so nobody can get on my property or on my, whatever, right? And he's guarding this wall. But Nine of Wands also represents stubbornness. And it's like doing something for a very long time. He's wearing a bandage on his head. It's like he's got scratches and bruises and wounds. So it's like he's went through something challenging, right? And I feel like the reason he's went through something challenging is because he's not giving up on something, or he's doing something the same way. So I feel like that's what it is, Divine Feminine. If we feel like we were more fulfilled when we were in solitude, or when we were having Kundalini activation, or when Spirit was asking us to seclude or like withdraw, like hold our energy back from pretty much everything and everyone, right? It's like, if you feel like you're having challenges now, it's because we're doing something the same way, the same old stubborn way. I know, I don't like it either. Sandra says, I'm the queen of stubbornness. I don't know, Sandra. I don't know. We may tie. We may tie there. All right. So love was what is crossing us, right? And that just means like that's the main challenge. So fulfillment, solitude is like we were fulfilled. We learned how to have fulfillment in solitude when we came out of dark night of the soul. And it's like now we're having a challenge in love situation because we're trying to do something the same old way. The Knight of Pentacles comes out. The Knight of Pentacles card tells me get to work. It's that card. It's the card that shows that field behind him, and he has the pentacle in his hand. He's on the horse, and it's like you're supposed to be planting the seed. The pentacle is supposed to be the seed, and it's like you've done all the work to get something ready, but the part, this is almost like what Sandra was talking about, because the pentacle also represents your worth. So it's like the part where you feel worthy enough to plant the seed, to start something, to begin growing something. It's like that's the part that we haven't done. There's something where it could be also too, like something takes a long time. It could be something about patience, but I feel like it's more like you've done the work, you're prepared, you're ready. It could be like time to make a commitment. Maybe you're fearful of the commitment. Isn't that funny how we always think it's the other person that's fearful of the commitment? What if it's us that's fearful of the commitment? 1911 on the timer when I said that. All right, let's look at highest expectation. It was that security card, remember? All right, so we have two cards coming out again. 7 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups. I feel like Spirit's definitely telling us to be patient in a situation. Seven of Pentacles is that card. It's my shit show card, right? It's the card where it's like, I've done all this work and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with it. And Spirit's like, you're supposed to be patient and wait for me. Ten of Cups comes out, and Ten of Cups is a happy home, happy family, emotional contentment. So again, that, I mean, it's not Four of Wands, but I mean, it's like the second runner up, right? All right, let's look at inner peace. So inner peace was energy that's coming into being that we don't know yet. So there's definitely this feeling for divine feminine, like we are almost there. And I said something about that with the Sagittarius full moon. Like it feels like we're getting to this pinnacle, like we're building up to a peak of something. The Justice card comes out. I love that. I just want to say, first major arcana to come out, the Justice card. Perfect card to come out, Libra energy. Relationships, right? Libra is the seventh house and rules relationships. But Libra is also a great injustice has been done. So most likely this great injustice that has been done is in a love situation, and that's why you're dealing with inner peace, or that's why you're fighting to keep your inner peace. The Justice card is definitely, she's a fighter, right? She has the sword and the scales, and it's like she's fighting for what's right. And exactly what Sandra said too. I mean, like I did too. It's like we're fighting for our inner peace, not allowing anyone to strip us of it. All right, let's look at that Stillness and Voyage card. This was in the past, so I definitely feel like that the not moving, the not taking action, the being carried by spirit. And we're always carried by spirit, y'all, but it's like at some point, it's like children, right? Like we're spirit's children, right? So it's like we raise children, we have children, we have babies, we teach them to walk, and then we teach them how to, I don't know, right and wrong, and how to, eat and work, and I'm saying, all the things, and then we send them out, and then it's their turn to do the things, right? And that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. It's like spirit carried us through dark night of the soul. Spirit gave us the tools that we need to implement in this time, and it's like now it's time for us to implement. The Emperor comes out. I love it. Big confirmation, right? Powerful Aries energy, but the Emperor is the most powerful card in the tarot set. It's definitely giving me this energy, like you have this power, you have this ability, you have the capability of stepping into this power. On the bottom is the Chariot. The Chariot is Cancer energy, and it says, don't be afraid to move quickly. Sherry says, okay, I hear you, universe. All right, let's move on to the second half. And I'm going to do, just like we did for Divine Masculine, we're going to get a second Rider-Waite set. So we can see if we have any of the same cards come out. So I love that the Emperor, Aries energy, and Justice, Libra energy were the only two major arcanas to come out of that tarot set. Aries is the Emperor, the most powerful card. Justice, Libra, definitely stepping into some power. Definitely taking control of a situation. And I feel like it's pretty clear, the situation, the happy home, happy family. Oh my gosh, Jenna, that sounds delicious. All right, here we go. I'm going to look at future energies. Future energies. Two cards come out. New beginnings and delight. I love that. I definitely feel like we all feel like if we just keep pushing, spirit rewards us, like the doors open. It's like we know that we just have to keep staying in alignment or keep realigning ourselves, I guess I should say. All right, so now the back half of the Celtic cross, I'm going to look at how others around you are affecting the situation, the heart of the matter. And remember, the heart of the matter was this fulfillment in solitude. So it's like you were able to implement when you're on your own, but can you implement in relationship? Can you implement when someone else is involved? Pleasure card comes out. The pleasure card is giving me a portal type of feeling. It has like these stairs that go up, and then there's like this archway. There's a deer standing there by the archway, and every time I see deer in tarot, Serendip so low over on Twitch. But every time I see that, or any deer really on tarot, I get a trust type of energy. I think it comes from the angels and ancestors cards, but there's something about like trusting, being able to go through this portal, and that's how those around you are affecting the situation, divine feminine. So I feel like whoever this is that you're in this love situation with, that you're having this justice battle, right? And that you're looking for new beginnings with, I feel like spirit is saying, like, you can trust this person, you can trust this path that you're going through. I do feel like for some of you, some of us, I should say, it does feel like there could be more than one path, and we're choosing a path. The focus card is going to be how you're affecting the situation, and spirit's asking you to focus at this time. So the picture actually shows this lion, tiger, it's a tiger, walking through the mountains in the snow. So it is now springtime here where I'm at in the US. It's almost summer. And winter was definitely very challenging for me. Winter of 2023, beginning of 2024 was definitely probably the most challenging experience that I've had in quite some time. But I made it through, thank God, right? And I feel like the goal ever since I left that situation is to not be like I always used to tell my children when they were growing up, if you don't put yourself in the situation can't happen, right? Like if you don't get in a car with a drunk driver, you won't be in a car accident. You see what I'm saying? Like it just won't happen if you don't do it. So it's like ever since winter, I feel like that's been my goal. Like ever since spirit helped me get out of that last predicament, it's like I refuse to go back to that situation. So it's like the focus has definitely been very strong ever since I went through that time period. And I feel like for all of us, it's like we grew out of it, and it's like we don't want to go back towards it. All right, so hopes and fears, we have protection, and protection kind of flew out and hit me in the arm. I do feel like we're highly protected. I was talking to someone today about the protection card. It's interesting to me when we're having spiritual awakenings, how protected we are. And it's also interesting to me when we're having spiritual awakenings, how easily it is to see that everything is working out for your greater good, right? And it's almost like because you know that you have this protection, so whenever something happens, even if it's challenging, it's easy for you to know that, hey, in the end, this is going to work out for me because I'm highly protected. All right, so just like Divine Masculine's reading, I'm going to pull out the outcome, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until the end. Ooh, I love it. I'll tell you that. All right. My apologies. My apologies. All right. Now I'm going to clarify with the second Rider-Waite tarot set. And let's look at new beginnings. I feel like the first half of the Divine Feminine reading was definitely very challenging. But I feel like the second half comes out much more exciting, and a lot more confirmation. So new beginnings and delight is the future energies. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I dropped it. It's the Emperor, y'all. So I wish you guys could see it because it's the Celtic cross. So it has like the line in the middle and then the cards across, right? If you guys read tarot, you know the Celtic cross. So the Emperor is on both sides. I freaking love that. Talk about stepping into your power. I feel like this new energy comes in because you made it through Dark Night of the Soul and you didn't allow something or someone to strip away your inner peace. So you stayed in that power, and that's how you're able to have that Emperor on both sides, in the past and in the future. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to look at the pleasure card. So the pleasure card was how others around you are affecting the situation. I don't get any type of sense of like ill energy with this card. I definitely get like a trust this path type of energy with this card. King of Swords comes out. King of Swords says a conversation needs to happen. Someone needs to like step up and be confident or courageous enough to communicate. It's about taking action also. So how those around you affect the situation. The air signs are sticking out to me also. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. All right, let's look at the focus card. So the focus is how you're affecting the situation. You could be too focused too, especially Divine Feminine, because remember, you got that Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands was like this energy where I feel like it's this energy where you're doing something over and over and over, because like maybe you think it works, and so you keep doing it. Even though it's kind of hurting you, right? The bandages, he's wearing the bandage around his head. He has these scratches, these bruises. So it's like whatever this thing is that you keep doing over and over, it's kind of hurting you, but it's like you haven't stopped doing it. There's definitely something about that. Like, I feel like you could be focused on the wrong thing. I mean, that could be possible. Page of Wands comes out for the focus card. So Page of Wands is like spiritual awakening. And remember, pages are, I always say they're new, not at their fullest potential, right? So it's like you're excited to have this spiritual awakening, but maybe not dedicated or focused, or there's something I'm hearing like about learning about your spiritual awakening, taking action, taking measures, it's like there's something about like opening a book and, I don't know, reading a definition, understanding what you're going through. So it's almost like we're going through something that is common, but maybe we don't see it, or we don't know, we just don't know what it is. But I feel like it's going to have something to do with your spiritual awakening, right? Page of Wands. Is it possible? Okay, now I'm getting a little nervous, Divine Feminine, because is it possible that we could be doing something that could maybe take us back to a dark night of the soul? Because Page of Wands is also like the beginning of our spiritual awakening. I feel like Spirit's telling us to focus so that we don't do that, right? Hopes and fears, we have the protection card, and it shows the tree of life on this picture. To say that we are highly protected is an understatement. I don't think people realize that when you've awakened, it means that Spirit has, reached down and touched you, has saved you from something. So it's like now you're joining Spirit's army. Now you're in God's army. Now you're helping other people, and you're spreading like unconditional love. You're spreading the message of your awakening. You're helping other people through their awakening. So because you're doing this, and this is, Spirit's will, then you're highly protected. The Judgment card comes out. Big Scorpio energy, but it's also hearing the calling. It's that card where you see the angel blowing the trumpet. Big confirmation. The card also represents purpose. So it's like, as if you follow your purpose, you're highly protected. All right, so here it is. Ready? The outcome was the freedom card. The freedom card. I love it. It does feel like you break free from something. It shows this beautiful bird flying through. It looks like an archway or a doorway. It looks like coming from maybe like a darker, stormier past is what's behind the bird, more into a bright, lighter colored future. There's a lot of smaller birds behind this big bird on the picture. Big bird, listen to me. The bigger bird on the picture. But it's like, it's almost like that's the past, or the people from the past. You're breaking free from those people in your past. And the Ten of Swords comes out. The Ten of Swords is big confirmation, because it's the card that says, you're bringing completion to a painful life cycle, a completion to a painful life cycle. And guess what's on the bottom, you guys? It's the Knight of Pentacles. It's the Knight of Pentacles. So Knight of Pentacles, remember, we've seen that Knight of Pentacles earlier. It was with the love card. And I was saying, like, you've got the grass, the ground ready, but it's like he's still holding on to the pinnacle. So you haven't actually planted the seed. And it's definitely a card that says it's time to get to work. I think what the work is breaking free from situations in the past so that you can be ready to walk into new situations in the future, right? All right, I am going to do some guidance. I feel like we need it for sure. I'm going to pull from my new Oracle set, the Magical Spirit Oracle. So I just want you guys to know that of all these cards, we only had 3 major arcanas. All these cards. The Emperor twice, Aries energy. Justice once, Libra energy. And Judgment once, Scorpio energy. I want you to know that in my own personal journey, I'm the Aries. We all know where the Scorpio comes from, right? And in my journey, are you ready? Don't fall out. But Libra is the karmic energy. Everywhere I go. I know, right? All right, so here's some guidance for Divine Feminine. All right, first one to turn over is number 40. It's Sweet Oblivion, Uncertainty, Fate, and Humor. It says, it's okay. I don't know what I'm doing either. I almost get this energy like we don't, no, I feel like we are being oblivious to something, and again, it's that focus card. So it's like Spirit saying we need to focus harder, or look harder, pay more closer attention. Number 2, Yin Yang comes out. It's the Twin Flame card. I'm in divine flow. I move in alignment, unity, balance, energy, and manifestation. That is the goal. This card is sticking out to me. I think we're going to read it from the book. It's number 35. It is the Forbidden Forest. It says, you are so brave to keep on going the way you do. This is going to be the one, y'all. Bravery, persistence, and redemption. All right, let me look it up. Number 35. I am healing and redeeming the lost parts of my soul. The brave one, she who persists, even when her heart is aching and she feels she cannot make it through this day. She has traveled long and deep and grown tired, and rightfully so, in the dark and forbidden forest, the place it is said where you might not survive, the place they say that if you go to, you must return to it again to retrieve your soul. This card represents the hero who chooses to continue on their journey, not half-heartedly, but with devotion and reverence. That part of the journey that nearly causes you to lose your soul or something essential to your being for good, and then having to return and revive it. Doing the same hard thing not once but twice is not easy to do. Look at that. We talked about 2 dark nights of the soul in this reading. How interesting, right? Even if it's just a reimagining it in our head and heart, it still activates the same old wounds, pain, and stories. The brave one recognizes that to go on as her fullest and higher self, she must return to the forbidden forest to retrieve and resurrect her soul. This means facing the dragon, taming it, and eventually befriending it. If she does this successfully, she will unlock greater power, magic, and healing within. It will be a redemption and become a significant point in her journey. Pulling the Forbidden Forest card can be a positive affirmation that you're in the active process of this journey. You are indeed being brave like the hero. You are earning the inner and outer gifts you are so rightfully deserve. Alternately, this card can be a sign that you may need to return to the Forbidden Forest to heal, retrieve, or resurrect something of yours. Is there anything you have been suppressing or resisting? You may be at a point where it's time. Even if you need to ask others for help, that is brave too. Every hero needs an ally. I love it. I feel like that card right there in itself totally resonates with my journey and what I'm experiencing, like literally right now. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that was helpful. I don't think I'm going to do any free readings tonight. I'm sorry. I love all y'all. It's just been a really long day and a really long week. And I just wanted to make sure that I got this reading out for you guys. Spirit told me one for Divine Masculine and one for Divine Feminine. So we did get both of those out this week. So if you guys missed them or you missed the Divine Masculine one, please go over to my YouTube channel and check it out. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for me so I know that you got to watch it and that it was helpful. I will be back soon, guys. We have that full moon coming again. I believe it's the 25th. Please let me be right about that. For some reason, I want to say it's 23rd, but I don't think so. It's the 25th. Sagittarius full moon. So I will be back before then to do a full moon live. So if you're new, guys, I'm on my summer break. And right now there's really no schedule. So you'll want to make sure to subscribe, follow, join, all the things. Make sure your notification bells are hit to all so that you do get notified when I do go live. But yes, I should be doing another one before the full moon. So keep an eye out for that. And thank you everyone for coming in. Michelle, Sherry, Jenna, Sandra. I love all you ladies so very, very much. Serendips over on Twitch. Thank you. Thank you. I think that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Yeah, happy weekend, everyone. I'm always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Have a good night.